You're looking at four players that may or may not be panic chamber material. No, they are panic chamber material because people are panicked on all four of them. Pollard, Pickens, Kupp, Puka Nacua. But let me start off by saying this. We don't always avoid panic chamber players. Sometimes panic chamber players are players we go get. Sometimes we are here to shoot down the panic. And we're going to break down these four guys. Are all four of them in the panic chamber, or are none of them in the panic chamber? Week 9 panic chamber begins right now.
You are entering the panic chamber, brought to you by Grindhouse, vintage movie tees and hoodies. You are entering the panic chamber, brought to you by Grindhouse.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Panic chamber, baby, panic chamber. And we are here to discuss these four individuals and a couple others, but there's some new developing news on George Pickens that is a little bit concerning, that does put him in the panic chamber. And this was a guy that last night, and your boy Smitty comes in and changes directions on the snap of a finger. I think everybody needs to understand that about me and about this channel. I'm not a dig my heels in kind of guy. I'll admit when I need to go in a different direction, and maybe I've been going in a certain direction, and sometimes it's obvious why we're doing it. Like, oh, avoid Cooper Kupp, avoid Cooper. You said avoid Cooper Kupp. Of course I did. And he's been a disaster if you drafted him in the first round. But going and getting a player on the cheap, that's what fantasy football is all about. Now, Pickens caught a touchdown, and his foot was on the line last night, so in all intents and purposes, he did not catch a touchdown last night. But a lot of people were freaking out about Pickens. Oh my God, he's garbage. He had a touchdown. And he's one of the most talented wide receivers in the National Football League from a skill set angle. Okay, this guy's got a skill set beyond skill sets. Problem is, some stuff is brewing right now that is not good for George Pickens, is his status in Pittsburgh right now. This report here is kind of alarming. This right here, George Pickens apparently unfollowed QB Kenny Pickett, coach Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers official account while deleting all Steelers content from his Instagram account. What's going on here? This is a post right here, and there's another report right here that shows this right here. Where is it? Steelers George Pickens posted an IG story after his 2-catch -1 yard game against the Titans, saying, free me. Pickens put this message up on his Instagram stories, saying, when you're thugging it out so long, you generally start tweaking. He's upset. He's apparently pretty pissed off. The crazy part about it is when your team's winning and you're more worried about getting the football, and it really is, yeah, it's kind of got that Antonio Brown type feel to it. It's like, what is he doing? Your team's doing well. You had a touchdown. You didn't get your foot in. You should have dragged your toe. I don't understand what this guy's doing. And then you go to his Instagram account right now. George Pickens is off his rocker. He deletes everything from his Instagram account, deletes everything Pittsburgh Steelers, unfollows Kenny Pickett reportedly. I haven't actually confirmed that myself, but multiple sources are saying he unfollowed Tomlin, unfollowed Kenny Pickett, unfollowed the Steelers. I can't confirm or deny that he was following all three of those guys beforehand, or those accounts beforehand. But this is not good for Kenny Pickett. And then the reemergence of Diontae Johnson. Look, like I said to you, I am not somebody that's going to come in and dig my heels in. And I hope you appreciate that about not only me, but the content. And this could make Diontae Johnson climb up rankings big time, because Pickett was excited to see Diontae score that touchdown. He hugged him really hardcore. And with Pickens creating all this kind of chaos right now, it would open the door to Kenny Pickett laser locking on Diontae moving forward. So guess what? Diontae Johnson is climbing up. Diontae Johnson, despite as much as we love Pickens, despite the value of Pickett, and I'm not saying to get off the Pickett train and the Pickens train entirely, because we love Pickens. I think I said Pickett a second ago. I mixed the two up all the time, as I'm sure you do. Pickens is still one of the most talented players in the National Football League. So we're definitely concerned about this, but we're not going to give up on him. But is Deontay Johnson stock rising?
Stock on the rise.
Definitely is. Pickens, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, off your rocker type of content here. Like, what's he doing? Teams doing well. What's your problem? Like, why are you so upset about your usage when you didn't drag your foot, Pickens? You are the one that didn't drag your foot. You're the one that could have had a touchdown but didn't. Free Pickens? Free me? What's he talking about? This drives me nuts. This makes me pretty angry. And that puts him in the panic chamber, baby. Because we're worried about him go forward. We're worried about his camaraderie with his teammates. We're worried about the rapport between him and Kenny Pickett, who he unfollowed on social media. This is absolutely strange. Anyway, look, one of the most talented wide receivers, up and coming wide receivers in the National Football League. Don't cut him. Don't assume he can't bounce back from this. Don't assume he's all dead and you can't start him in your as a second or third flex play if you've got deep leagues. But is he currently the wide receiver 3 for your team right now? There's a concern here. There's a concern. And he, I would say, is in the panic chamber. Put him in. Put him in. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Let's nip this in the bud right away. Okay, and again, my panic chamber episode is not who I'm panicking on. It's who is everybody else panicking on. And do I confirm? Do I concur? Do I deny that a player should be panicked on? Sometimes our panic chamber episodes are where we find some of the best buy lows. And I think that is the case for the most part for these two individuals right here, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. And I just did a video on buying Cooper Kupp on the low. Go watch that video. It's the video right before this. It is my top 5 go-get players. I did a buy low list right here, as you can see on my screen. Let me put it on here. This is the buy low list for week number 9. And we talked about this. Let me make Bijan's a little smaller because he's covering up Kenny Walker. But Bijan Robinson, Kenny Walker, these are the buy lows. All these guys walking into week number 9. But I did a video, you can go watch it, where I isolated my top 5 buy lows from this list. Did a video on it, dropped it. It's up there right now. Adams, Achane, Cooper Kupp, Bijan, and Deebo Samuel. These are my 5 isolated best buy lows from this entire list. And as you heard me say, Cooper Kupp is on that list. So you might be asking yourself, why is he on the panic chamber list? Well, because Stafford's injured. They've got a bye week coming up. People are freaking out. Kupp has had 2 bad games in a row, and Kupp is a good buy low. People are freaking out. On my thefantasyfootballshow.com, where you can get my one-on-one text advice, people are saying, Smitty, do I trade Cooper Kupp away for this garbage player? Do I trade, and this is where I step in and say, okay, calm down on Deontay. Do I trade Deontay Johnson, or trade Cooper Kupp to get Deontay Johnson and Darrell Henderson? And the answer to that is an absolute.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
No, we're not doing those types of trades. Is Deontay Johnson's stock
on the rise?
Absolutely. Okay, I'm here to admit that right here, right now. This this George Pickens thing is a problem. Enough to make Deontay stock on the rise. But are we trading Cooper Kupp away for Deontay and another player? No, we're not. And that signifies to me, again, through my text line on thefantasyfootballshow.com, it signifies that, hey, Bob, why don't you hold off on trading away a guy that could be a top 5 wide receiver, go forward, and Cooper Kupp, and relax a little. Chill out, Bob. Go get an espresso. Okay, so walk away from your desk. You're doing too many TPS reports. You need a break, Bob. Go to the water cooler. Talk to Maggie from Repo. See if you can trade for Puka Nacua while you're at it, and stop complaining about Cooper Kupp and how bad he is and how you want to get rid of him. 2 bad games in a row. Injured Stafford bye week. It's a problem enough to land on people's panic radar, which is why we are here. Now, the risk is real. Stafford goes down, it's game over. It's game over for Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua production as we see it and know it right now. Even Kyron Williams goes down a little, although he'll survive the best because they'll probably run the ball a ton. But Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, if Stafford goes down, it's game over as far as the production as we know it. However, that is a big assumption to make when Stafford does have the torn or strained UCL, but it is not torn. And he has a bye week coming up. He's questionable this week. He could sit out this week, meaning Kupp and Puka could do mediocre this week if they don't have their star quarterback that overwaters the plants. Everybody gets overwatered in a McVay plus Stafford system and formula. So there's risk, of course there is. But if you're going for a swing right now and you need something, Puka and Kupp are there for you because their owners are panicking. I had somebody message me today and say, would you rather have Deontay Johnson or Puka Nacua? We are already there. Puka last week, we traded Puka Nacua for Austin Eckler and got roasted in my own comments in a league where you guys draft for me, you guys do all the trades for me, and we collectively traded Puka Nacua and got Eckler, and we got roasted in the live stream from our own people when we did that trade as a community, and people were freaking out over it. Other communities roasted us because it was an expert league. Oh, you traded Puka Nacua for Pollard or for Eckler, and now 1 week later, I'm getting people jumping ship off Puka Nacua to the tune of Deontay Johnson. I like Deontay. Again, right now, with the Pickens news, understand what I'm saying.
Stock on the rise.
Deontay Johnson, stock on the rise. There is drama in Pittsburgh. And it all starts with Pickens. And that's his fault. He's making his own bed right now. Not dragging his toe. That made his own bed. He could add a touchdown, but now he's scrubbing his social media from all Pittsburgh Steelers stuff, unfollowing Kenny Pickett, unfollowing Tomlin, being a complete baby when the team is not even a team sport to him. This is a me game. This is all about me, George Pickens. So yeah, Deontay's stock is 100% on the rise, no doubt about it. But is he Puka Nacua? No, he's not. Is he Cooper Kupp? No, he's not. Panic chamber? I don't think so. Worried, concern, UCL for Stafford? Yes. Worried, concern, UCL for Stafford, sits out this week, then a bye week, 2 weeks of not having the Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp production that we want and that we expect. Yeah, a little bit concerning, but they're buys. They're not sells. They're holds. They're not sell lows. They are players that we go get. This man, Tony Pollard, next up on the list. There's some concern here. There's definitely concern here. There's a little concern here, but not enough to sell low. And I'm buying, and I'm not buying here at this current moment, but I'm holding. I'm not going to cut them. I'm not going to get rid of them. No one's going to buy them from me, so I'm holding. But I might bench in a 3 wide receiver league if I've got better options. In a 2 flex league, you might still be using them. Don't freak out on it. Maybe they patch it up. Maybe some of this is blown out of proportion. We don't know, but we do know that there's concern here. Concern enough to say panic chamber. Sure, he's making his own bed. He didn't drag his toe. He had a touchdown. He says, free me. He says, free me. Here's the report. Free me. Very frustrated. Here's the report right here. Free me. Where's my I need to get my circle above that. There we go. Free me. Free me, he says on social media. Free me. You got a touchdown. You're the one that stepped out of bounds, Pickens. Same thing. Pickens. Why do they have to draft these two on the same team? Makes me mix it up all the time. Pickens, get your head out of your rear end and start playing football, okay? Because you're one of the most talented wide receivers that I've seen come up in a while. And here you are wasting away your opportunity because you're saying, free me. You're being selfish. You're being a selfish person when the situation is actually pretty good for you right now in Pittsburgh. Pollard, on the other hand, is trending downward. But I believe he's trending downward too much. I think people are freaking out way too much about this guy, Tony Pollard. Is he not playing up to expectation level? Of course he's not. Would I buy him low? Of course I would. Would I sell him Medium rare, you probably can't sell him high, but medium rare, maybe. I probably would consider selling him for an Achane and something. Consider selling him straight across for a Cooper Kupp. Maybe straight across for a Puka Nacua. It depends on the situation. But if I had a plethora of running backs, I had Achane coming back. I had 5 or 6 wins. I had Achane coming back as my running back 2. I had, let's say, Austin Eckler in my running back 1 spot, and I'm living large at RB. I could trade across positions pretty easily without batting an eye. That means that I'm worried enough that he does deserve to be in the panic chamber. Now, will I close the door on him? I don't know that I'm going to close the door on him because I still am intrigued enough to buy low. And I think that the problem here, and I said this in the beginning of the offseason, the problem was going to be that if we have this passing attack get dialed down and diluted, and you had McCarthy come in and say, we want to run the ball. We want to run the ball. We want to change everything up. The successful formula that's been working and very successful, we're going to change it up. And we're going to try and run more and not pass and not give CeeDee Lamb his opportunities. What did we say in the offseason? A little bit concerning because then defenses are going to stack the box more. And if you're not stretching the field and you're trying to do something new, why try and fix what isn't broken? Just because Kellen Moore leaves and he was very pass heavy, you want to take control and piss on your territory and say, let's just change it up and run the ball. Let's take one of the top 5 most potent offenses year over year and let's dilute it down a little bit. It wasn't a great recipe, but what did I say? If it didn't work, they'd start wiggling their way back, inching their way toward passing, and get things back on track. I do believe that happened last week. CeeDee Lamb to the freaking moon. CeeDee Lamb to the exploded. CeeDee Lamb is the man. CeeDee Lamb, get lambed. Where's my get lamb? CeeDee Lamb to the freaking moon.
Get lambed.
So CeeDee Lamb got back on track. CeeDee Lamb is looking solid. The offense is looking good. Dak Prescott looked good. And I think in turn, this kind of swings back around and supports Tony Pollard getting back on his horse. But there is risk. I would say these two are far less risky, even with Stafford's injury concerns and all that, because he's not out for the year or anything. Stafford's hurt, but he's not out for the year. These guys have a little less risk. This guy's got a little more risk than these two. This guy's got less risk than this guy right now, considering his little temper tantrum he's throwing right now on social media. His team's doing well. They're winning. They're moving the ball. Not pretty wins, and it's his fault he didn't drag his toe. Now, I was in here defending Pickens last night, and now I'm not, because that's the way I roll. You come out and put your foot in your mouth, you come out and do something stupid, your boy Smitty's not going to be here to defend you, and that does increase the value of a guy named Deontay Johnson. It absolutely does, because this man's unfollowing his quarterback and his team and his coach and throwing a temper tantrum on social media. He's not going to be in good graces with all of those parties that I just named. So we don't know what the hell's going to happen with Pickens going forward. Don't give up on him. Don't trade him away on the cheap. Don't drop him. But maybe you are concerned enough to pause on the Pickens train right now as he potentially puts his foot in his mouth and pulls a little mini Antonio Brown. What's with the wide receivers in Pittsburgh doing this all the time? It's constant Divaville. I know a lot of receivers have diva mentalities, but goodness gracious, man. What is Pickens thinking? Pollard, I'm going to say, final answer on Pollard, buy him if the price is right. Hold him versus selling him low. Don't get crazy or stupid with him on either direction, but do understand that there's top 5 to 10 potential running back value in Pollard in a climate where running backs are decimated right now. This is probably one of the easier potential, I say potential because he's not a lock for it, potential 6 to 10 running backs in fantasy to buy low. This is probably one of the easiest to acquire potential top 6 to 10 running backs walking in. We're going to hit these super chats here, and then we're going to answer some phone calls after that. Appreciate Corey first in the building, followed by Avon, followed by Avon, Matt O, OEG, Travis Rowe, thank you for modding, Travis. Peanut Butter Cups, appreciate you. Everybody else, Kentucky, everybody else filing in, Swaggy. Ron Navy's in here, Fred, Thomas, D, appreciate you all. Let's get to these super chats. Joe dropping the first super chat of the evening, which gives him a standing ovation.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Thank you, my broski. Joey, trade Fields and Bijan for Achane. I have Burrow. This is one of those moves where you're overpaying, but quite honestly, I probably would rather have Achane at this moment in time as long as you can weather through the storm. Lego Batman with a $20 hauler. Found Bijan. He was at CVS picking up Tylenol for his headache. He said he's getting 120 plus total yards all purpose and a touchdown. Hope this helps. Lego Batman, I appreciate you. We sent Lego out to go find this man, Bijan Robinson. Last week, we sent him to go get Devontae Smith, and it worked like a charm. And now we're going after Bijan. Bijan, the bat signal is up. We expect you to report to duty. Bijan, appreciate you. Bat signal is up. Thank you very much, Lego Batman. Lego Batman to the freaking moon with his $20 hauler, by the way. Lego Batman Moonshine.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Lego, appreciate you. Let's hit these other supers. We got Young in here with a $2 hauler. Trade my Burrow and St. Brown for Herbert, Gus, and JSN. No, I'm not doing that. Come on. Come on, Young. You're selling those guys too low. You did good getting them. Ride it out, pal. You got some good value there. Let me put that up real quickly. Let me put that up one more time. Just to make sure it was trade by Burrow and St. Brown for Herbert and Gus and JSN. Not even remotely close. Number one, Young, Burrow's better than Herbert. Number two, St. Brown's better than any one of the two players, Gus or JSN, and he's frankly better than both of them times three. Together times three. So you're losing on all sides of this. Absolutely do not do that trade. That is the most Smitty disapproved trade I've seen all day. And you send him this, Young. You tell him he disrespected us. And you, 22 minutes into the show, you send him this.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
That's a horrible trade offer. Should I trade Pollard for Diggs straight up? I would take Diggs straight up. That is Smitty approved. That's what we're talking about. Like, you go ahead and get Pollard on the cheap. Good. This is not cheap. Should I trade Pollard for Diggs? This is you getting Diggs for a steal. You're selling Pollard on the high. It's insane. Or Gibbs for Diggs. Go get Gibbs for Diggs. No, go get. You better not be trading Diggs. Should I trade Pollard for Diggs? I don't know if you've got this reversed, but the Diggs side crushes on all angles. Not saying that Gibbs can't be that good, but you can't buy at that value, and certainly Pollard's nowhere near Diggs. I have Achane and Hall at running back, and Jamar and Ridley at wide receiver. So go get Diggs and make it happen, but don't. If you're gonna trade anybody, I would trade Pollard. Honestly, I'd rather have Gibbs by a little bit over Pollard. That might shock some people, but maybe not as many as I think, because I think we're a pretty big Gibbs community here. Pollard for Mike Evans. I'd rather have Pollard there. That would be, I think, it's arguable, but that would be an overreaction to a little bit of a degree, given the scarcity of running back right now. I have Eckler, Hall, Achane. I definitely would trade him, but I don't know that that's the move. Like St. Brown, that's a good move. There are a couple wide receivers, Lamb, in that territory that makes sense. Or you do the old Pollard for Achane and Ridley, Pollard for Achane and Debo, like type of move. Debo and Achane for Pollard would be fantastic. $10 hauler from my boy Nico. Nico coming in strong with the 10 wad. 10-man PPR 2 flex. I had Kelsey, so I traded Kincaid and JSN for Olave. I don't hate that. I don't know if I would say you got him on any level. You both got good value, but I understand what you're doing, and Olave's a great buy low. Olave's on my week 9 buy low list for a freaking reason, because people are running from this man, and it doesn't make sense. He's still ultra talented. He had a good beginning to the year, and everybody's running away from him as if he's garbage. Go get Adams, by the way. He's the top buy low player of the week by far. And I have the whole video dedicated to that. Thank you, Nico, for dropping the super chat. Appreciate you. Jay coming in with a $2 hauler. Trade Dell, Brian Robinson for Dotson and DeMarcado. Oh, no, sorry. DeMario Douglas. Okay. I would say probably lean toward I probably lean toward... I still like Dell a lot. Dotson's not bad. Maybe Dotson has the momentum right now. So I guess the Dotson side, but this is a pretty much like you kick me in the nuts, I'll kick you in the nuts trade. I don't know what's helping anybody. I think it's just an even Steven trade. Smash the Walker Hollywood for Collins London trade. London is out, by the way. We've got news to go over on that. London's out for week number 9. So Juice, that other side, the non-London side, crushes that trade. Was offered Ford, Hunt, and Downs for Pacheco and Standard. I think that's one of the worst offers I've seen all week.
You are offer sucks. You are trade offer sucks.
Okay, maybe I'm getting a little carried away. Ford's pretty good. Ford's pretty sneaky, to be honest. Like, maybe I shouldn't have pressed that button. Maybe this is more preference, but I'm not trading Pacheco. I still think Pacheco is a fantastic running back in a fantastic situation. But honestly, is there a world where Ford is as good? I suppose, but I'm taking the Pacheco side. I probably got a little excited there by hitting that button. It's not that bad. Trade Aaron Jones, Hunt, and Dotson for Jacobs. Smash. Given the news today, Jacobs is going to be full go, and they're going to unleash him. So this is a to be announced, to be determined, to be watched, to be witnessed. I don't know which side's going to be better, Aaron Jones or Jacobs. Aaron Jones. It's probably safer to go get Jacobs. Keep in mind, O'Connell threw the ball to Jacobs a ton. There was a ton of dump offs to him. He caught his most passes he's ever had with O'Connell under center. The guy who kind of vanishes is Myers. Myers doesn't get a lot of passes, but that could change. I don't think anybody should draw too many conclusions, but I would say that Jacobs' value goes up with O'Connell. So Jacobs is safer by far, but don't be surprised if Aaron Jones makes a little resurgence and is damn solid. $20 hauler from Call Your Boy Loud, dropping a 20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Call Your Boy Loud coming in strong. Appreciate you. 3-5, 1 QB. Lost Cousins, T-Law on a bye, and got Geno. Monty is looking to come back, and that scares me. Do I try and trade Gibbs for Burrow or stand down? I've got Henry, Gus, Najee, Charbonnet, Achane, Connor. I want to get more than Burrow. I think that, you're drafting Gibbs ahead of Burrow, I think, if drafting today. And I wouldn't play scared. You're 3-5. Like, you need a big swing anyway. I wouldn't play scared. I wouldn't be worried about Monty too much. I would say trading away for Burrow and, let's say, a Ridley or a Debo or some wide receiver that's super undervalued might help you. But I definitely don't think I would be freaking out and just trading away. I got Henry, Gus. Yeah, your team's really good. You got a good squad. I wouldn't be freaking out at all. You got plenty of RB support. You got Devontae, Olave, DK. I like your team quite a bit. Achane coming back is going to be monstrous for you. Do I think it's smart to get Burrow? I do think it would be smart, but I just think you need to get more. So come back when you can figure out something to add, but you do need to get more. I have Pollard, got offered Bijan. I'd probably take Bijan over Pollard, but they're pretty close. They're both kind of struggling. You could say that Bijan deserves to be in the panic chamber as well. And again, being in the panic chamber doesn't mean I'm going to close the door. Sometimes it means I buy low on you. Sometimes I enjoy the panic because I think the player is going to bounce back. And I do believe both Tony Pollard and Bijan are both panic chamber material. I believe both of them have top 5 running back capability. I don't know that both of them will be. I think we'll be lucky if one is, and I think luck might be on our side, and I probably bank on Bijan. But man, it's really, really close. Trade Pollard for Cooper Kupp. As I alluded to earlier in my example, my direct example, I would do that. I would take Cooper Kupp over Pollard, especially if you've got running back support, 100%. Tua, AK, JT, Bijan, Hill, Lamb, Deontay, Tank, JSN. Last week traded for Bijan, Ridley. This is a good. So you're saying traded Burrow, Hunt, Ridley for Tua, JSN last week. Traded for Bijan, Ridley. I don't. It's kind of a run-on sentence here, VSAM, but I'm gonna try and read this again. Traded Burrow, Hunt, and Ridley for Tua, JSN last week. I don't know that I like that trade. I like Burrow as much as I like Tua. They're pretty interchangeable. They're both very good. And Ridley I like a lot. So I like JSN a lot too, but he's kind of, he's going to be undervalued comparatively to Ridley. So I kind of like the Burrow-Ridley side more. But your team's really good. You've got Tua, AK, JT, Bijan, Hill, Lamb. Honestly, I would say it would be very difficult for me to imagine your team not being a top 3 team, regardless of that trade. That trade's not crazy. It's just, I lean the other way. But your team has to be a top 3 team in your league, I would say. That's a great job, great team. $10 hauler from my boy Z. Z coming in strong. Z says, Smitty, the other day you laughed, implying my mind was on the moon for trying to get St. Brown for Kittle and Deontay Johnson and Brian Robinson. The guy accepted. It's pending. But now I'm rethinking giving up too much. I think St. Brown is fantastic, bro. I think in the best case scenario, with Kittle doing as well as he's done on your dime, not his, you aren't trading Kittle away with all that value, broski. That value's on your watch, not his. So don't think of it like Kittle, the player that's been playing the way he's been playing all year. You've enjoyed that, not him. And in a best case scenario, Kittle and Deontay is even to St. Brown, I think. But it could go either way. I mean, that's the nature of fantasy football, and values are volatile. Deontay Johnson's worth more today than he was yesterday. He's worth more yesterday than he was the day before. He is going up. The Deontay Johnson stock is absolutely climbing because of this mess. Deontay on the rise because of this mess we're looking at in Pittsburgh right now with Pickens unfollowing Tomlin, unfollowing the Steelers, unfollowing his quarterback Kenny Pickett, and putting up on social media, free me, give me the football, when he had the football and he didn't drag his toe, and his team's doing well and winning. I believe they got a 5-3 record the last time I checked, and he's complaining? He's not a team player, clearly, and that pisses me the hell off, because this is a guy I actually really like, or did like, or still like, but I'm pissed off at him because he's dropping the ball. Literally. Not dragging his foot. So I don't think this was a bad trade whatsoever. I'd take St. Brown now for Kittle, especially if you've got the tight end position covered. But I wouldn't be freaking out over that trade at all, bro. That's still a very, very good move. I think most people in here would say they still rather have St. Brown. But if Deontay's climbing people's boards that quickly, that was after that situation went down for you, so you can't even get mad at it or second guess it or worry too much about it. Let me see what the chat's even thinking. What do you guys like? Do you guys like St. Brown over that side, or do you think it's pretty even now? Which is fine. Doing an even trade isn't the end of the world. Andrews, Swift, Addison for Diggs. That's a lot. That's a lot for Diggs, bro. I think maybe you're giving up. I would try and take out one of those pieces, bro. Andrews and Addison or Andrews and Swift feels like, or maybe get something added back in. Joseph, I think you're giving up just a tad too much. You need to add something back in to make that a little bit more even. $10 hauler from my boy. Who's this? This is Justin. Justin, Pollard, Javonte, Tajay Spears, Warren's stock is on the rise right now. Warren's stock on the rise. Jalen Warren's looking smooth right now. Jalen Warren looks really good. Tyreek, Sun God, DK, Nico, Kincaid. Trade Lamar, Pollard, Nico for Dak, Eckler, Adams. Lamar, Pollard, Nico for Dak, Eckler, Adams. So Dak will be your starter. That sucks to downgrade a quarterback, but Pollard, Nico, Eckler, Adams, you got to smash that. I would smash that. A really, really, really good trade. Really, really good trade. Dak's concerning, but he just had a big freaking game, so I like that. As far as other trades, I sit on that team. Would I try and get Achane somehow? Absolutely, Justin. If there's a way you can get him on the roster, that would be fantastic too. Ron Navy says, "Stop it, Smitty. You're overreacting." Am I, Ron? I mean, let's read the chat. Chat, am I overreacting on the Devontae Adams? Can't even get his name right. All these names are the same. Pickens, Pickett. Is Pickens an overreaction? I don't know that the chat's going to agree on that, but let's see what they do. This whole me mentality, I thought if anything, Ron, you come in here and say this crybaby dragged his toe and he's saying free me when his team won, and he's deleting everybody from his social media, deleting all the Steelers stuff, taking the Steelers off his social media when he's crying and complaining about this team winning. I honestly thought you'd be on the other side of this, Ron, to be honest. And Ron with a $20 hauler, super chat, $20 hauler monster.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Okay, let's see here. Appreciate the 20. We still gonna smash flipping Jacobs into Gibbs and Evans? I think I still would. I mean, Jacobs certainly goes up in value, but I would rather have Gibbs and Evans. I think that's a very, very solid return. 7-1. This is a $5 hauler. Traded Brees and Pittman for Eckler, London. London's out this week. That sucks. Yeah, that does suck. Sounding like, how old is Pickens? He's young. Pickens is a diva and will be headed out, says Johnson. Okay, 7-1. Brees and Pittman for Eckler and London. I'd probably say this is pretty even, bro, because Brees and Eckler are pretty darn close. I'd probably rather have Eckler by a hair, but London's ruled out this week, so it's tough. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's very even. I don't think you made a bad trade or anything. I think I could totally Smitty approve it. Let's say, appreciate the work. Matt LaFleur says he's ready to cut Aaron Jones loose. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Aaron Jones should be on his horse. And I think he's a great buy low, which is why I still have him on the buy low list. He's a risky buy low, but he's right here. He's still on the buy low list. This is the best buy low list you could find for week number 9. Aaron Jones is on it, risk and all. Like, you're buying low. There's no concern buying him low. I do believe. Get him going. You believe? I do believe it. Need one wide receiver, 2 flex. Douglas, Dell, Watson, Hendo, Jones. 1 wide receiver, 2 flex. I'd say Christian Watson, probably. Is that Julio Jones? I'm not going Julio Jones. I'd probably go Watson, Hendo, and Douglas this week. If I had to pick 3, I suppose. That would be my choice there. He's following Diva Baby Johnson's playbook. Come on, don't you see it? It doesn't matter though, Ron. It's like we're in the middle of the season, and the team's winning, and he's complaining about himself. T-Law, Swift, Waddle, JSN for Chase Burrow. Yeah, you could take Chase Burrow, smash the hell out of that.
Got him.
That's fantastic, Rag. That's an unbelievable trade. This one right here from Hassan, $10 hauler. $10 haulers get a moonshot. Appreciate you, Hassan, for dropping that one. 12 team 6-2 full PPR. QB Burrow, Kyler, ETN, Cook, Aaron Jones, DeMarcado, who's out this week, by the way. Tyreek Hill, Flowers, Godwin, Palmer, Pickens, Boyd, Kittle, any moves. Kyler, I mean, you need something. This team is good. ETN and Aaron Jones and Cook, it's not bad. Tyreek Hill, you obviously got good talent. You just need one move. You trade Kyler for a wide receiver on our buy low list. You trade Kyler and another receiver to upgrade that receiver on this buy low list. Puka Nacua, like Garrett Wilson. I think you do one small move, Hassan, and this team is in the money. I think it just needs one small little maneuver. Sharbs or Roshan this week. You can't start Roshan until you see something. Will Animal Hot Dogs on In-N-Out to the moon? Yeah, we called In-N-Out live on the show last night, and we asked them to put in the suggestion box at the customer service center that they get animal style hot dogs. And I told the guy to close his eyes, picture it. Everybody here, close your eyes right now. Hot dog, In-N-Out, all beef, animal style toppings. Who wouldn't get it? Who wouldn't run out right now and get an all beef animal style hot dog at In-N-Out? I would. I'd go get 10 of them right now, freeze a couple of them, and just have them all on standby at all times. Looking to offer Laporta or Kincaid with Roshan to the HN owner. Easily. McBride, which tight end would you lean toward keeping? Look, if you're getting rid of Laporta or Kincaid and all you're giving up is Roshan, like, you got to give him his choice. And to be honest with you, I would let him choose, because you give him that choice and he feels like he's taking ownership of the trade, and then he might be more willing to do it. If you decide for him and then try and change it up later, he might be like, this guy's just trying to rake one over on me. I definitely would let him just choose. That way he feels like he's got control of this trade. That was Aaron Jones. Yep, Aaron Jones is getting unleashed, baby boy. He's getting unleashed, and he's going to have a pretty good week, I think, hopefully. He's definitely a good buy low. Oh, and the other question, okay, so Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, and then I probably guess would take out Pop Douglas, I suppose, of that previous question that you asked me. All right, phone lines are open. Dial into the show. Dial into the Christopher Smith phone line. Also,
Call into the show.
Sponsored
Call
by
into the show.
Wheel Snipe Selly, a.k.a. City. Top Super Chatters of the month. This is a rolling situation. Top Super Chatters of the month. We also have our unicorns in the house, some of them tonight.
He is a unicorn.
Filing into the building tonight. Appreciate you all. Let's see here. We got Terrell, you're live on the show, bro. Terrell, what can I do for you, Terrell?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Smitty? I have a question. So Justin Fields, his designation is doubtful, correct?
Yeah, real quickly, but Wild Bill, I'm going to probably say Freeman here, but it's pretty close. Sharps is always good, but Freeman is probably the safer choice. Yeah, so Fields is questionable, but I haven't done the news yet, and I need to do that first, and I probably should have did that before I came on here and did the phone line thing. So real quickly,
Yeah.
mute yourself real quickly, and let me hit this news, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So hold on one second. Just hit mute real quick. These are the players that are out for week number 9. Drake London, Curtis Samuel, Dameon Pierce. Okay, so Devin Singletary, dial him up. Get him fired up. Hopefully this makes Bijan catch some more passes. In is Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, which is fantastic and great. Stafford and let's see. Stafford's up in the air. We'll know more about that later. Probably tomorrow, maybe even game time decision type stuff. Dameon Pierce is out. Fire up Devin Singletary. If he's available in your league and you need an RB, go get Singletary. This one right here is what you're talking about, Terrell. Justin Fields has returned to practice. There's video footage of him throwing very, very well. And so he's officially listed as doubtful for Sunday's game. I think they want to give him more time, but there is a possibility that he just starts feeling better and better and they start him. But it sounds like he's not going to play. He's listed as doubtful. Demarcado is out, which means Ingram is probably the guy that's going to get majority of the work. Connor was taken off IR. We're going to see how that develops, but definitely feel like Demarcado disappointing because he was getting all the work and there was a nice opportunity to use him, but he's definitely out of this game. And then Kyler Murray officially questionable, making the trip with the team. More clarity coming Saturday. So it sounds like Fields and Kyler are both projected to sit, but I would say Kyler has a little bit more of an opportunity to play than Fields, but both of them should be back their next game and contest. And there's 6-2 super chatter here. This is Hurts, Bijan, Javonte, Achane, Singletary, Andrews, AJB, Kupp, Ridley. Feel my team's a bubble waiting to burst. Is this a stand firm? Absolutely. Every player you have, I love. So if you had to go get somebody, you'd have to get rid of somebody. Would I trade Hopkins? Maybe. Hopkins and Singletary for like one doubted player. Like let's say you love Debo more. I kind of do. I think Debo coming back from the bye week will be very, very solid. And so like I worry about Hopkins is solid, but like you want to do some sort of even Steven swap type wide receiver move. I could get behind that. But honestly, Hopkins is still okay. And the fact that you have AJB, Kupp, and Ridley would make me maybe want to take Hopkins and turn, let's say, Javonte and Hopkins into one RB, let's say JT. Like something like that. Or maybe you could get a Cooper Kupp using Javonte and Hopkins. That would be actually the best move to potentially go maneuver. And then this one from Kyle, trade Pollard and Devonta Smith for Hill. That's a lot. I'd probably say, yeah, in a vacuum, but I the ramifications to the lineup are tough to see. I have Lamar, Kupp, Sutton, Hall, Connor. You're losing a lot of value, but at the same time, what if Pollard comes out and is mediocre? What if Devonta Smith struggles and Hill goes out and has 45 points next week? I think most people here would say take Hill, but you're definitely giving up a lot. He's getting a lot, you're getting a lot, it's kind of like a tough trade to evaluate. Okay, Terrell, go ahead and ask your question. I know you're probably going to ask something around Fields. Go ahead.
Yeah, so his designation is doubtful. Now, by Sunday, do you think they will put his designation to out so I can set him into my IR and pick up a QB?
How in the hell do I know that? I would say, Terrell, probably it's not. It's going to be. They usually. I hate when they do that.
Me too.
You can have your commissioner. I don't know if there's another setting that can make it easier to put him on IR, but I think he has to be ruled as out. I think you're right. Yeah.
Now, do you think they might rule him out by Sunday? Like Sunday morning, they'd be like,
probably.
Like he's not going to be done.
Probably. I bet you can make a move right before kickoff, but I don't think it's going to be anything like it's going to be more close call-ish like that. That's going to suck for you, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I just need to get him out of my QB situation because I need to pick somebody else to get this win. You know how it is.
All right, Terrell, call in if you got another one.
All right.
All right, later.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, Ron Navy, you're live.
Yeah, what's up?
What's
First
up?
of all, everybody that's not in your time zone, that doesn't switch time zones, remember Saturday, clocks go back an hour.
Yeah, which is great for me because it allows me an hour to sleep in more. It's the same time Eastern, but my time doesn't change, but everybody changes around me. So Arizona's weird. But yeah, I get to sleep in an hour more. All right.
Anyways, you say ask the chat. The chat's been pretty much anti-Pittsburgh from even before draft. So the chat's skewed. The chat's always been skewed against Pittsburgh. That's a fact. So you saying go.
No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are. I think
ask the person that's a diehard Pittsburgh fan, which I am, and everybody forgets all the time that fucking Johnson, excuse the F-bomb, but Johnson sits there and cries, and he misses the ball. He can't catch the ball. He's got rock hands, and he cries, and he cries, and he cries.
Yes.
What's a young receiver like Pickens going to see? He's going to see, oh, well, it worked for him. They got him more targets. Oh, and then you got Diggs out there. He's causing stuff. So do you blame him for using the playbook? I don't. I mean, he was getting used.
Ron, he got a touchdown.
He was getting used before Johnson came back. They started using him on crossing routes and all sorts of different routes. Now that Johnson's back, they're using him one-dimensional, and they're going back. Even the commentators were talking about that, how they're not using Pickens the same way that they used him when Johnson was out.
Ron,
and he's pissed.
But Ron,
I don't blame him for being pissed.
The problem is the team's winning. Like that's a bad mentality.
They're barely winning.
I know, but Ron, that's a bad mentality to have. When you had, you know what he should have said. It is a bad mentality, Ron. If he was a good leader at all, he would say, "I had a touchdown."
You get a few targets, and your quarterback is throwing the ball over your head. You have no chance at it.
But Ron,
and then you get no more targets because everything's going to Deontay. Yeah,
Ron,
I'm going to be a little pissed off because receivers are always divas. They always will be divas. And it's not bothering me. He could, how many times this year has he caught the ball on the sideline with his feet in? He made a mental mistake there when that touchdown. He didn't get his foot down.
Okay, but Ron, here's the. Okay, Ron, hold on. Here's the thing. Ron, hold on. You said your piece. Like you said your piece. Hold on, Ron. Hold on. So what I'm saying is, this guy comes out of this game without a touchdown opportunity. This guy comes out of the game without any sort of targets. He'd have a leg to stand on. But he had a touchdown that he screwed up. He has nothing he could say that's respectable, that I respect, if he comes out of the game and doesn't. No, if he Ron, you're not here. Ron, you're not hearing me. He can't say what he's saying right now. If he had come out of this game without any opportunities, it'd be one thing. It's badly placed and timed. When you had a chance to catch a touchdown pass, you didn't, and you complain about being freed.
Last week with minimum opportunities, with minimum targets, his only catch last week was a 22-yard touchdown. Is he getting the ball enough? No, he's not. So yes, you can't just say that.
So unfollow your team. Unfollow your quarterback.
out or act out about it. He has every right to act out and speak out about it because that's what his mentors on. That's what Deontay does. That's what Dick does.
So he just should
That's what all
follow
the
suit.
other
You know how many
receivers
receivers don't do that, Ron? A lot of receivers don't do that. It's not the playbook that everybody has to use. It's a dumb playbook to use in the middle of the season when your team is winning and you had an opportunity to catch a touchdown and you stepped out of bounds. He steps out of bounds, walks out, cries and complains after the game. Look, Ron, I'm a big supporter of Pickens' talent. I'm just calling it like I see it. This is a baby move, and he's coming out crying and complaining when he didn't drag his foot, walks out of this game. He should have accountability for this, not crying and complaining and taking everybody off his social media. It's a ridiculously placed thing. Had he come out and not gotten the ball at all, I might actually, in a way, be like, I don't know if he should be doing this midseason while they're winning. It does look bad. But if he came out and didn't have a touchdown opportunity that he jacked up.
You have every right to call him a baby and have your opinion on it. But I think you're way overreacting, in my opinion. You're way overreacting. You're way pushing this. And I think it's wrong, in my opinion. I think he has every right. I think that circumstances shows that he wants the ball more. He's talented enough to have the ball more. They're not getting him the ball. Pickett is throwing him over his head. He can't catch him, not giving him enough targets. And he's letting his team know, and his offense but he's letting them know, hey, listen, you're losing an asset here. You're not. I'm the biggest receiver here, not Deontay. Deontay's not the biggest receiver there. It's Pickens. He's the most talented receiver, not Deontay, and he's putting his foot in the ground. So what? They all do it. From Hopkins and everybody else, all the big receivers, they want the ball, and when they don't get the ball, they make it known. And there's not very many.
I'm actually shocked. I'm actually shocked.
He didn't complain.
I'm actually shocked. I thought you'd be on the other side of this, to be honest. I thought for sure. I think a lot of people in here would agree that you would come in saying, "Stop complaining and catch the football, or drag your foot, or do what you got to do. Make the most of your opportunities." But to come out of a game where you screwed up a touchdown grab and you're going to complain to others when you didn't do your job.
Pittsburgh needs to pull their coaching heads out of their asses. And Pickett needs to pull his head out of his ass and start throwing the ball more accurate.
Well, we all know that, Ron. That doesn't change it.
Deserves the targets.
That doesn't change anything, though.
Pickens deserves the targets, and that's the bottom line.
But it doesn't matter. He deserves the target. Sure, there's other ways to go about this. Ron, if I was in his shoes, this is not the way to handle it. Mid-season, when the team's winning, you can say barely all you want, but the team's winning. What a selfish move. It shows no maturity or leadership whatsoever. I could care less if 100 other wide receivers are doing it. If I'm running a team and someone does this the way they're doing it while the team's winning, while they're screwing up on the field, I don't care. That's garbage. That's garbage.
Johnson, so of course you're not making a case. You never ever got on Deontay's case like you're getting on Pickens' case.
Well, come on, Ron. Ron. Everyone in here will tell you I've gotten on Deontay's case more than anybody has gotten on someone's case before. Come on, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Everyone in here is going to tell you I'm all over Deontay Johnson constantly.
When Deontay was crying, I came on here and I said he's a crybaby and he was crying.
Ron,
and that, but you never said.
Ron, stop. Ron. I'm always against Deontay Johnson all the time. Ask the chat; they'll tell you it's one of the one things that drives a lot of people that love Deontay Johnson crazy. I'm always talking trash about Deontay Johnson. What are you talking about? I always talk about how he drops the football. He hasn't had a touchdown in 7,000 games.
You never talked about him crying and doing
I always talk about him in a negative way. Everybody knows this about me. I constantly talk bad about Deontay Johnson. And I came in today and I said, guess what? Deontay Johnson's stock up.
Stock on the rise.
Because he's the one that's stepping up. Look, I still Ron, I still like Pickens.
pass. This is the first touchdown pass he's caught since 2022, since Ben Roethlisberger threw it to him. He got one touchdown pass. How's his stock up? He's still – you count how many balls he missed last night? He still has problems holding on to the ball. He still has those
here's the thing. I still love Pickens' talent. I still like Pickens. I'm not writing him off. I don't know if you saw the panic chamber. I said
know you do. I know you like Pickens.
I said don't cut him.
I'm saying you're going after him. Oh, you're overreacting.
I don't
to
think
what
I
he's
am.
Doing.
Well, that's your opinion. I think I'm reacting 100% properly, and I think a lot of people would agree.
Right. That's right. I got my opinion. You got your opinion. I'm pushing back on you. You're pushing back on me. That's what we do. So have a good night, Smitty. I'm going to continue to listen. We'll give this a rest.
Okay. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you.
Love you.
Love you back. Appreciate you. It's like spilling milk at Thanksgiving. It happens. Chris and Carl, please hang tight on the phone line real quickly. I want to get this $50 hauler from Brady. Going nuts with a $50 wad. Brady to the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Brady season. Brady's stock is up. Whose stock is up? Brady's stock is up. Yo, Smitty, need your help. 5-3 in a 12-man league. Mahomes, Ayuk, Evans, Flowers, Osborne, JJ, Ramondre Hunt, Kyron, Jeff Wilson Jr., Akers, Kincaid. Clearly need a trade. What can I do? Also, pick one, Osborne, Shaheed, or Douglas. Give me Shaheed because he's been doing pretty well, and he's capable of the most. What's everybody thinking in the chat here? Like, first of all, I felt myself like trying to defend my ill-placed hatred, or not hatred, that's a bad word to use. My ill-placed disapproval of Deontay for so many years. And here I am trying to defend that I've been anti-Deontay. And like anybody in here knows that I constantly have been on Deontay Johnson's case almost his whole career, which is crazy. Ron gifted 10 gifted memberships. Ron,
to the moon.
Always coming in strong no matter what. Appreciate that, Ron. All right. So anyway, this team right here, I would say, look, Mondre, Kyron, I don't know what you can really trade, to be honest with Brady. I would say this team, Mahomes, can't even sell Mahomes high right now. Ayuk, Evans, not a lot of sell high value there. JJ is your only asset to maybe sell high. Kyron, you can't even really sell him high. There's no one here to sell high. Like if I told you to go trade some of these guys, you'd only lose your rear end on this, and you wouldn't even benefit from it at all. The only player that has any sell high value whatsoever is JJ. So I would say try and get that Achane wide receiver package for JJ. Try and get a Swift and wide receiver package for JJ. Try and get Pollard and a Ridley, a Pollard and a Debo. But that's your only hope. Like you have to get rid of JJ, and I think maybe that opportunity is out there for you though. There's so many players that you could couple together in a 2-player you're receiving for your one JJ, and they're all on the screen right here. It depends on the grouping, but like Taylor and a Devontae Smith would crush, or Garrett Wilson and Taylor, or a Swift and one of the wide receivers. Like, I think you can make it happen. I think Aaron Jones is a very good player to mix with one of the bigger name wide receivers on here that might make it to where you can't go get a big name running back if you were to do that. But I think all those are fantastic moves for your team. Carry Christian Watson, Dell, or Pop this week. I'd say Christian Watson probably is the guy I would pick. He had 2 touchdowns and 140 yards that just didn't happen in that game. It was unbelievably painful to watch him likely get 140 yards and 2 touchdowns and come away with almost nothing. And it wasn't like all his fault. In regards to your response to my earlier $20 hauler, instead of Gibbs for Burrow, how about Gibbs and Flowers for Burrow and Ayuk? I could definitely get behind that trade. I hate trading Gibbs away, but Burrow could help you a ton. I could totally, Smitty, approve that. And Ted Fry's dropping a 20 watt on screen. Ted Fry's, appreciate you, my broski.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My boy Ted Fry's coming in strong.
Finish him.
Oh, whoa. I have QB, Josh Allen, CMC, JT, wide receivers, AJ Brown, Hill, Andrews, Bijan, Kupp, kicker, Hopkins. Eagles bench Herbert, Monty, Laporta. You need to maybe trade Laporta and Monty for one player, bro. Do I trade for Cooper Kupp and get Diggs? Do I trade for Cooper Kupp and get Diggs? I definitely would take Kupp or Diggs, and I would try and give up Laporta and Monty. Would I even get Laporta into your lineup and trade Andrews and a player like Monty for Kupp or potentially Diggs? Absolutely. I think that's 100% the way I would go. I'm in first in crushing teams. You're crushing teams because your team's absolute straight fire. But that's what I would do if I was you. Use Monty. Use the tight end. Go to the tight end needy teams. Go get a player. And if you can't do that, I mean, if let's say the team that doesn't, maybe you can get rid of Ayuk and Pittman and Monty and still get a Cooper Kupp on the cheap or a player like even Lamb or somebody around that territory. Appreciate your super chats. Let's go to Chris from New York. Chris, you got 30 seconds.
Hey, Smitty, I need a little help with my running backs here. I have quite a few of them, and I'm trying to figure out what two I should trade. I'm wondering what you think. I have James Conner, Jerome Ford, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, and Bijan Robinson.
Aaron Jones, Kamara, and Bijan?
I have James Conner, Jerome Ford, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, and Bijan Robinson.
Okay, Monty. You're not going to be able to.
Alvin Kamara and Bijan are my two ride and dies. I'm trying to figure out which other one I should probably. I want to keep two other ones and trade two of them.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to get rid of Aaron Jones for the value he's about to maybe climb back into. So I probably hold these guys up, put squares around Bijan, Aaron Jones, Kamara. So Monty, Ford, and Connor. I'd trade those three guys. I think they could get you something decent. I think you could easily go after the doubted Cooper Kupps with Monty and a wide receiver. I don't know what you'd throw together, but something could maybe get it done. Players on this buy low list. Take a screenshot of the buy low list and just attack these wide receivers that feel worthy of a Monty and something. A player like.
My wide receivers are Nico Collins, Gabriel Davis, Tyreek Hill, Calvin Ridley, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay, so you're good there. What's your quarterback situation look like?
Lamar Jackson.
What's your tight end situation look like?
Kittle.
Okay, so grandma league.
Right,
I don't know, bro. I mean, try and upgrade Lamar into Mahomes using Monty, and enjoy. But your team's fire. You don't necessarily need to do anything. I mean, these running backs. You could trade Monty, and if you're saying ride or die with Bijan or Kamara, but you could maybe upgrade Bijan.
Bijan in the first round, I'm never going to get the value back.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter if you get creative. Bijan and Monty for Eckler. Like I mean, that was doable a week ago. Probably isn't anymore. But like, just try different moves. If not, try upgrade Lamar into Mahomes or Josh Allen. If you like Lamar better than those guys, then just ride it out, bro. But there's not much you can really do. Your team's very, very, very solid. Unless you think you can upgrade into Kelsey using Monty and Andrew or Kittle. So Kittle.
He has Laporta and Kelsey.
Okay, well,
I've been trying to deal with
third world problems, bro. All right, Chris, your 30 seconds is up. Call back if you have a specific trade question that I can help you with, Chris, and I'll hammer it out with you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Carl, you're live. 30 seconds. I'm cutting you off at 30 because that's just getting.
I received a trade offer. I got Chase and Gibbs versus Kupp, T. Higgins, and Hunter Henry. Which side do you like more?
Chase and Gibbs for what?
Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins, and Hunter Henry.
The Chase and Gibbs side by 100,000 miles, bro. Like you're wasting my marker.
Okay.
Like Kupp and Chase. Let's just pretend that's even. I like Chase way more than Kupp right now, but let's pretend that's even. Gibbs versus T. Higgins, Hunter Henry. Who the hell cares? I'd much rather have Gibbs. I guess there's an argument to be made that this guy bounces back, T. Higgins, but I mean, give me the Gibbs value. The trade value alone, RBs are such a hot commodity right now. That's an easy trade, bro, for me, or easy side of the trade.
What if I told him to throw in Javonte Williams? What do you think about that?
No, thanks. I like Javonte, but I'm not moving the needle and getting rid of Jamar Chase and No, thank you. Why not just keep the better side? Yeah, just keep the better side. Rock out with it, bro. Like, are you worried about Gibbs? Like, why are you trying to gift somebody chasing Gibbs so badly?
Monty.
Are you just addicted to trading? Let's be honest here. Let's get to the root of the problem. Are you just trying to make a move? Like, why are we trying to get rid of these two so badly? Like, what if I throw in 2 Javantes? Can I do it then? No. I like Javante though, by the way. But these are 2 ballers, bro. These are 2 straight up ballers. Chase is not somebody I'm getting rid of, and Gibbs is. I would sell Gibbs at the right price, like Cooper Kupp. I would sell Gibbs for maybe JT if I needed a running back very badly. I could go, and I was worried about this situation. But I'm not as worried as I think some people are, because I believe Campbell knows what he's got in him. And I think that we're going to see him. I think, as I keep saying, it's self-serving to continue to use the guy everyone's praising that you drafted and showed everybody what you guys knew this kid was special. He's worth the 12 overall pick. And it's not like a situation where Arthur Smith is completely crapping the bed and he's pushing back on everybody that wants Bijan to be used. It's almost like, when that guy is going to ask the girl to marry him, and then when everybody asks him, hey, when are you going to ask her for her hand? And then it like pushes the guy back another month. He's like, I'm not asking for another month. Everybody keeps asking me. Like, Arthur Smith treats Bijan like that. Every time someone asks about Bijan, he wants to start him less. He just pushes back. Like, that's different than what Campbell's doing. Campbell has said before this game, the breakout game's coming. And so it did come. And I think that Campbell's going to continue to use both of them.
All right, thank you.
Hey, appreciate you, Carl. Carl to the moon. All right. Thank you, Carl. Let me get these super chats here out of the way. We got a few of them sitting here. This is from Jacinto. Says 2 flex got Mahomes, JT, Pollard, Hall, AJB, Tyreek Hill, Lamb, Laporta, Ridley, T, Christian Watson, Mixon. Who do I start? Moves to solidify the bench. 2 flex. I mean, you're starting Mahomes. You're starting JT, Pollard, and Hall. You're starting Tyreek, Lamb, Laporta, and probably Ridley. Is my starting lineup. I like Ridley most after the guys I just named. I think Mixon's certainly in the mix, no pun intended. But moves to solidify, I mean, maybe trading Mixon and a Ridley for a slight wide receiver upgrade. Maybe trading Pollard and Mixon together for an Eckler. Maybe you're throwing in a T. Higgins if they throw in a little something back. Other than that, I mean, Pollard's the only concern in the lineup. The rest of the lineup is straight fire. And I even like Ridley in that flex spot. Pollard, I like him. This Panic Chamber episode did confirm that he's both a hold, a sell, and a buy, just depending on your vantage point. But I think he's the concerning piece of this monster squad that you have there. And I would potentially try to get him into maybe an Eckler or something along those lines. Like, part of me wonders, can you trade Pollard, T. Higgins, and Mixon for CMC and catch that guy sleeping? I don't know. You won't know until you try. A lot of people say that trade won't happen, but I've seen worse CMC trades happen this week as people can't afford the bye week, and they're just like, I'll get rid of them. Okay. Smitty start Roshan, Lockett, or Singletary. With the news of Pierce being out, I go Singletary on this one, and thank you for the $20 hauler, broski. You are going to the moon, pal.
To the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Look, Singletary was already gaining some momentum too, so, fantastic for him and his value. My Achane and T-Law for Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith, and Javante. I would take Achane personally, bro. I'd rather have Achane, but it's pretty close. I love Devontae Smith a lot. But traded Pickens for Hollywood Brown, have Kyler Murray. I don't mind either side of that. I am worried, as you guys can tell, I'm worried a little bit about Pickens' rapport now with his staff, his team, his quarterback. It could get brushed under the rug. This is one thing I'll say for the anti side of my argument of just being concerned. Just being concerned doesn't mean Pickens won't respond next week. If Pickens goes out and has a monster game, I'm not feeling gotten. I'm not feeling anything. I made it very abundantly clear. I still love this guy's talent. He's one of the most talented wide receivers in the league. One thing we've learned with these temper tantrums is that teams can get over it pretty quickly. And it's a business. I know he's not treating it like a business. He's treating it like a game. And I've said that before about Debo and those guys when they do this is kind of ridiculous. It is the blueprint for some diva receivers to operate under, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I think it's stupid. I think the leaders that are quiet and lead through, showing on the field and just being professionals. Bijan Robinson's a professional. The way he handled that situation with his headaches, he didn't have to go to bat for Arthur Smith, but he's a stand-up guy, and the way he approaches everything is phenomenal. Like, Bijan's such an upstanding teammate and person, and it's just unbelievable to watch him operate as a young man navigating the media and such. It doesn't mean this guy can't go out Pickens and have a monster game. So, but I would say, I definitely don't feel it's a bad move to get rid of him, but it's also, depends on what you're getting. Like Debo, I'd take Debo over Pickens right now. Love is my second QB. Drop him for Watson. No, I probably not. Keep in mind, Love had 3 TDs in week 1, 3 TDs in week 2. He had 6 TDs in the first 2 weeks. Like, there's capability there, and Watson's injured. I don't know. I like Bigsby as a stash for sure. If this is a player you're not going to use, maybe Bigsby is the sleeping giant, but he's going to look very, very, useless right now, and that's the way he's going to remain unless he's called upon. That's the nature of a sleeping giant. $10 hauler from Hassan. Appreciate Hassan dropping a wad here on screen. Hassan, thanks again for the gifted memberships. Ron Navy gifted the 10 exclusive memberships. Real quickly, let me see if anybody else gifted. I just want to make sure. I think Ron is the one that gifted those 10. Appreciate Ron dropping that. Hassan, $10 hauler. Non-PPR QBs are Stroud, Murray, JJ Olave, Amon-Ra, Kirk, Godwin, Rice, K9, James Cook, Aaron Jones, Spears, Gibbs, Hendo, Kincaid. Trade JJ for Pollard straight up. This one's tough because you don't know what's in store for JJ. We don't know what the volume's going to look like. I probably lean JJ over Pollard if you have the record to support it. Your record's on the verge of being able to support it. So in that, I would probably say, give me JJ. And then I would actively try and shop JJ for something that felt even more comfortable. I would say that's probably where I would head with this, bro. James Cook and Christian Watson. Thank you, Hassan. James Cook and Watson to get Aaron Jones. I would take the gamble on Aaron Jones, to be honest with you. With this coaching staff ramping him up, talking him up, and with my instinct that he will become a top 10 running back for the remainder of the season once he's fully healthy, and we've been kind of misled on how healthy he's been. I think this is the time. Could we continue to be misled? They say they're going to fully unleash him. I think they got to. They got to get this offense back on track. They got to. I think he's going to get unlocked. And keep in mind, he was a monster at the beginning of the year, got hurt right away. I think there's still potential. Will he stay healthy? That I don't know. He's older. $4.99 hauler from A-Rod. Smitty 2QB 12 team. I traded Swift, Pacheco, Christian Watson for Law, Waddle, Javonte Williams. Swift, Pacheco, Watson for Law, Waddle, Javonte. I'd rather have Swift and Pacheco, my broski. I'm sorry to tell you. It's not crazy. I mean, I even hesitated on it, but give me Swift and Pacheco. I know they feel a little shaky right now, and that could be the case. They could continue to drop, but I just think they're plateauing, and I think there's ability for at least one of them, if not both of them, to pop off. Like, remember, Pacheco's been playing great. It's really been one game. And the whole team struggled, and Mahomes struggled, so we got games scripted out. I think Pacheco is going to ball out. My Eckler, Evans for JT Gibbs, Flowers. I'd probably say this is about as even as it gets, bro. JT Gibbs and Flowers is solid. But Eckler and Evans, I take by a hair. Bye week out of the way for Eckler. Evans is, I still think, very underrated, so I'm going to take that side, but it's very arguable for sure. Silva with the $10 hauler. Silva brothers in the house. Appreciate Silva. Silva's been here from the beginning. What's up, bro? I have CMC, Eckler, Saquon, Achane. Someone offered me DJ Moore and Godwin for Achane. I'm going to say,
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
for sex. You were made for sex.
No. I like Achane way too much. DJ Moore and Godwin, not enough. I have Ayuk, Flowers, Ridley. It was as my wide receivers. Not saying that don't trade them, but like Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Debo, and something. But honestly, I think I'd rather trade Saquon. Keep Achane, trade Saquon for a wide receiver to the tune of a Lamb or slightly below if you need to. But that territory of wide receiver, even like a Olave and something, is a better move. I have Fields as my QB. This is non-PPR. Thanks. Appreciate you, Marco. Let me know if you have a follow-up on that one, and we'll try and attack it. But trade Saquon. Trade Saquon for a wide receiver. Achane, in my opinion, and trust your gut. Maybe Saquon goes on a tear, and you're right if you believe he's better than Achane, but I think Achane's a top 5 running back every time he's on the field. $5 hauler starters are Herbert, Keenan, Kupp, Godwin, Pollard, Ford, Schultz. Should I flex this week? Freeman, JSN, or Wan'Dale Robinson? JSN's probably the higher risk, higher reward play. So if you need a swing, go JSN. If you want safety, Freeman will get packaged into enough work that he'll be serviceable. But do I think he's going to outshine JSN if JSN gets lucky and gets the right workload? That's the problem, though. It is higher risk, higher reward for JSN. So you kind of got to pick your poison there. If I need a swing, I'm going JSN. And I like your team. And if I need a safe play, I think Freeman's safe, but is it like 8 points, versus JSN being 2 or 0 or, 18 to 25 points? That's the kind of JSN I kind of envision in the coming weeks. Phone lines, hit the phone line again. We'll do it briefly. We'll do it live. Appreciate you all. File on in. Doing it live. See if I can turn this zoom off. This automatic zoom is driving me, or this automatic focus is driving me nuts. Where's my automatic focus on this camera? Camera, blur effect, no. I don't know. I might be able to set it on another screen, but this thing's driving me nuts. Okay. All right, dial into the phone line. The phone line is brought to you by Christopher Smith and Wheel Snipe City, a.k.a. Sully.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
These are the top super chatters of the month. And then, of course, thank you to all my ballers.
He is a unicorn.
Five 508 caller, you are live. 508 caller, who am I talking to? Oh, the phone line crashed. Let's see here. Let's see. Is there a 508 caller on here? Where are you calling from, and what is your name?
And it's Brian.
Brian from DC. Brian, I appreciate you dialing in, Brian. And you're going to have 30 seconds. Please get everything in within 30 seconds. And then if I decide to extend the conversation. Brian from DC, you said? From DC.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, go ahead. You got 30.
Okay, 2 quick questions. Clement or Everett? I've got Laporta on bye.
Clement? Or Komet? You talking about Komet, the tight end from the... Okay.
Yeah.
Komet or Everett? I'll probably say Komet.
Yes.
Clementine. I thought that's what you said.
All right, and then if you could pick 2, Olave, Puka, Metcalf, or Addison to start.
Olave, Puka, DK, Addison. It's hard to trust Addison in this scenario with these options. I'm not saying he's a bad play at all. It's just these are tiny bit safer options. But he could be. I mean, they could just lean on him like crazy, and it could be a safety net, and he could have a really good day. So you could even say he's maybe. Let me rephrase it. He's maybe safest Addison, but I do think Olave pops back hardcore this week. I'm gonna say Olave and Puka. But if you feel uneasy about Olave, Addison is definitely may be the tiny bit safer move. Olave's either going to disappoint you hardcore or he's going to explode. And I think the Saints are going to overfeed him and try and rectify everything. But this is definitely safety. Puka and Addy would be safety.
Right. And then one more real quick. I've got Dak Prescott. Should I try and pick up Fields for maybe 2 weeks from now?
For sure.
Fair enough.
All right,
Thank
man.
you, brother.
All right, later. All right, let's go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, my man. Mars man, Rock Out. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I need 2 flex. JSN, Dotson, or Fergie. Maybe we get the chat involved with this.
Yeah. Didn't you ask this yesterday? It's okay if you did. I'm just curious.
I have a different combination with Fergie.
Things change anyway, so it's okay if you did. I'm just curious if this is the one. I'm going to go JSN and Dotson. Personally, I don't know that I'm banking on a tight end over these options, but that's me. If the chat would vote, chat, are we going JSN? Or are we going Dotson? Or are we going Fergie? I'm sorry, pick 2 of them. JSN, Dotson, Fergie. Let's get Rock Out a vote. Rock Out, hang tight while we collect that vote, and I'll be back for you. Jay, you got 30 while we wait for that. Jay, what can I do for you?
Hey, how's it going, Smitty?
What's up?
I have to stream a quarterback. Would you rather stream Baker Mayfield or Deshaun Watson?
I guess Watson if he's playing, but I mean, I don't like those options. I know that that's the nature of things. I would say Watson probably, but Baker's. I do like Evans a little bit this week, obviously. So I mean, there's some intrigue there for a touchdown or two, but I probably just roll with Watson. But man, he's such a disappointment. Let me look at Baker real quick. Baker Mayfield. What did he do? He had 237 and 2 last week against Buffalo also, which was pretty impressive. But I mean, he had 1 touchdown the week before, 0 the week before. Did have 3 that week prior, then 1, then 1. I don't know. That's a tough one. Deshaun's just hard to trust, but you know, maybe in that situation, I could. I don't know. I wouldn't say I trust him, but I just feel like the opportunity for him to rush for a touchdown and get a throwing touchdown, like 2 touchdown games, seems probably higher than Baker. So I'd say Watson, but those aren't good choices.
I gotcha. All right, thanks, Smitty. You're the best.
Thank you, Regs. Appreciate you. All right, let's go over to Perps. Perps, you have 30 seconds, my boy. Perps in the building.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Quick question for you. So I had a trade today that I turned down in a 12-man PPR, 4-4. He offered me his Devontae Adams, Roshan Johnson, and Aaron Jones for my Barkley, Lamb, and Hall. And I said, no way. So I countered him with Amari Cooper and Saquon for Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, and another piece, and he's turned that down. He thinks it should be straight up for straight up. Am I dumb for not taking that, or am I right that there should be more there?
So Cooper, Barkley for Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. I much rather have the Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams side. So you're saying the original trade was Cooper, Barkley, and who?
Nope, the original trade that he offered me was Roshan, Devontae, and Jones for my Barkley, Lamb, and Hall. Brees Hall.
You're asking me if I think that was a mistake?
No, I turned that down. I'm like,
okay.
No
So
way,
what are you asking? What are you asking me? That first trade, I'm saying Aaron Jones and Adams is better. Aaron Jones and Adams is better. But like, what do you?
And I told him that I needed something more with those guys to give up Barkley and Cooper. I said, am I dumb for saying that? Or should I don't want
to call you dumb. Those are your words. I'm just saying I would take that Aaron Jones side by a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, Adams Adams and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones should be back on his horse here. Barkley and Cooper. So we'll put Barks and Cooper. Cooper is a question mark, a big question mark. Barkley, look, Barks is playing well. I like him, but his offense is still very limiting. And at the end of the day, Aaron Jones, now that I believe he's back full force, probably, I believe these are going to be pretty close. Adams, with his newfound situation, his new quarterback, absolutely crushes Amari Cooper in my mind. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But give me the Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams side by a country mile. So I wouldn't say the word stupid. I would just say, like, you maybe are over evaluating Barkley and Cooper.
No, I get you. I just was looking at it more that all I really have then is Brees Hall, and then I hope Aaron Jones pulls his head out and he's not injured, because all I have on the bench is Jeff Wilson and Tajay Spears.
Yeah, but are you going to have Barkley all year? Because this guy's a walking injury. Every single other game, he looks like he's out for the season with something. And then they go to the sideline, and he comes back, and Barkley's a walking injury. So Aaron Jones being fully unleashed, said to be healthy, I don't think I'd worry so much about it. You're getting Devontae Adams, a huge upgrade, potentially top 5 to 6 wide receiver go forward. I would smash the hell out of that trade. But that's me.
All right, well, I'll try to revisit it with him and see if he's open to.
This is Perps, right? Perps to the moon.
Yep.
Hey, Perps, what else you got? What else you got, Perps? Anything else?
No, that was it for now.
Okay, here, you hang tight, because you're a super chat baller, an absolute monster. I'm gonna let you sit on the phone line. Just mute yourself, and if you got something else when I come back around, we'll ask you to see what you got. Okay, so hang tight. Just mute yourself if you could. Let's go to Elvis. Elvis, you got 30, pal. You're not Elvis.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead, Elvis.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Appreciate you, Teddy. You're the man.
Thank you.
So, I don't know what to do about Nico Collins. I've got Diggs and Devontae, and I've got JJ waiting for him to get back. But I'm never going to play Collins because of those two receivers, and I've got a really good running back core. I don't know what to do with him, and if you can even trade him, like what would I even trade him?
You talking about JJ?
He's a good player.
Who
No,
you talking?
no, I'm talking about Nico Collins.
Oh, Nico.
Yeah, but I have JJ as well, and I only have one receiver on my bench, which is Nico Collins, that could go in if Diggs or Adams ever get hurt. But I would never play Nico Collins in a flex because my running backs are so much better than him. I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not tradable. I mean, I wish I could tell you, bro, you could sell Nico for a freaking 3 ham sandwiches. I don't think you can trade him. He's been too erratic. But if he pops off, and has 140 and a touchdown next game, guess what? You could sell him. So I think you just wait on him.
Well, but who would I sell him for? That's what I'm saying.
Well, you wait. You got to wait. You got to wait. You can't sell him for the answer is nothing right now. 0. Nobody's taking him. Okay. But if he pops off for 140 and a touchdown, then we have this conversation and we say, okay, who did bad last week? Because the buy low list changes from week to week. So I can't jump into that mindset when we don't know who's struggling. Because you're gonna have to buy low. Right. You'll sell high and you'll buy low. So we need to know who's buying low. We won't know that until next week. So let's let Nico pop off a little bit, and then we'll circle back.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, later, Elvis. Appreciate you. All right, Cap from Florida. Cap, what's up, my guy?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Smitty. Okay.
Hello?
Check it, bro. I got 2 scenarios here I need help with, bro. I'm hurting here, bro. I got everybody on buy. The first one, okay? Knowing what you know right now, Puka or JSN, and my other one is pretty much a 2-parter, but it goes together. I need 2 out of the 3. McBride, Taysom Hill, Chuba Hubbard. How would you rank that in a tight end flex spot?
Okay, so let's start off with this Puka JSN one. While anything can happen, Puka Nacua is pretty unbenchable right now, my guy. I mean, JSN at any moment could go out and have 100 yards and a touchdown. I'm not saying that I don't love JSN, but this is not even a question. Like, you cannot sit Puka Nacua. Remember, last week we traded Puka Nacua for Eckler, and people were irate about it. Like, even in our own community, even though it was a community move, because the Throne League that I created was a league where 12 experts go at each other and their communities draft their team, their communities make the trades. And so I had a group of the Mars Men and the Instagram exclusive group, and I went to both of them collectively. That's like over 50, 60, 70 people like that were responsive for this situation. And specifically, there's more people in those groups, but I would say about 40 people potentially maybe weighed in at the end of the day. I've reached out to a couple other chat groups on Instagram. So I had about 40, 50, once I got about 40, 50 people, like maybe 5, 6 people in this one, 5, 6 people in that one, 5, 6, we decided to trade Puka Nacua and Pacheco for Eckler and Christian Watson. And Christian Watson obviously has failed in that part of the trade, but Eckler looks fantastic. People were irate about it. You can't trade Puka Nacua for Eckler. He's fantastic. Now, I can't tell you how many people, and it's not warranted, I agree with starting Puka Nacua, and I agree they still got a lot of value. Everybody's saying, do I bench him this week? Do I do this? And if Stafford sits, I get it. It's a problem. But you can't sit Puka Nacua, man. You just can't sit him. That's just not... I think he's still a stud no matter what. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. The chat wants to disagree, but JSN, it's not like JSN like got vaulted into the number one spot or DK Metcalf's out for the game. You know what I mean? So it's not like something where there's some kind of glaring opportunity specifically for JSN this week that puts him in an unusual situation to where we're probably going to go ahead and maybe make this move for just this week. There's no spot like that, no opportunity like that. And this one from Max, drop Pickens for JSN. Bro, you going to drop Pickens after 1 week, though? Like, we're concerned. This whole live stream talked about the concern, but I also emphasized the talent. You can't drop Pickens after one little situation. Anyway, on this other one, I'm going to say McBride is kind of a safe play. They're using him quite a bit. However, if Kyler doesn't start, you don't know what Tune and McBride have in terms of a rapport. So I'm going to say no to these two, and I'm going to say give me the Taysom. Give me the Taysom, baby. Taysom is absolutely on a whole nother level right now that could crash and burn at some point, but right now it feels like they want to use this kid all over the place.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If I put in Taysom in my tight end spot, okay, that's going to leave either Chuba. Do I put Chuba or JSN in the flex?
JSN.
So play JSN, Taysom Hill, and
Puka. Do it live.
Puka.
All right, Cap. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, later.
Thanks, man.
Let's go back to Perps, the man, the myth, the legend. Perps, what else you got for me? You got anything? You thinking anything up?
My lineup, I'll run you on my other team.
All right, hit me with it.
So Tua, Pollard, Sharps, Tyreek, Devonta, and then Ferguson over Thomas at tight end, and then Rice and JSN in the flex, and then leave Douglas and Thomas on the bench because my other guys I got Gibbs on bye this week.
I concur with everything you got. I concur. I think Rice has a nice little day, by the way. I think hopefully JSN continues to go upward. Smith, hopefully he continues to go upward. Tyreek's a baller. Sharps is the only questionable spot here, but like, is Singletary available on waivers? He's kind of a tempting plug and play for Sharps this week. However, Sharps could do well at any moment. Pollard, we addressed the concerns, but also the upside. So nothing here other than maybe Singletary if he's available.
Yeah, and you obviously talked to a ton of people, but last night I pulled Spears and put him on the bench over Sharps. So, yeah, unless there's another option to grab off the wire.
And Spears didn't blow up, so.
No. And then in that other league, I hit that guy back on the trade. We'll see what he says. But would you play Howell this week over New England? Or if Kyler's a go, would you play him?
What's the question?
I got Howell in as my QB in my other league. and Kyler is obviously tentative to come back, and I got T-Law on bye. Would you go with Howell, or would you take a chance on Kyler if he plays?
Kyler's looking doubtful. So, that could change, but I think you go with Howell. Plus, Howell was the number one quarterback last week, period. I'm not saying he'll play at that level every week, but, I mean, that deserves a start. You got to go Howell.
Yeah, that's been my trouble this year is I've rotated between him and T-Law, and every time one goes on the bench, they blow up, and the other one, does the opposite. So I haven't hit that yet. But otherwise, I'm going to run Breece Hall and Barkley unless that trade goes through, and then Lamb and Amari Cooper. McBride at tight end, I got him from the other day. And then Downs and Dotson. And then leave Jeff Wilson, Spears, Shaheed, and Romeo on the bench.
Attaboy, Perps. I like it. Perps to the moon. Appreciate you, Perps. Call in if you got another one.
Sounds good. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, pal. Later. All right, rock out. Final thoughts. It looks like the chat voted to put, I think they voted JSN and put Fergie on the bench.
Yeah. What's the type of package you could put together to get A-Chain?
For give me a couple guys. I mean, I don't know.
Let's see. I got McLaurin, Dotson, Ferguson, Roschon. Got Ayuk. I got Olave.
Okay. I mean, with Olave's current situation, probably not going to get that. But if he goes out and blows up this week, maybe. But the problem with Achane is that Achane is going to be one more week away from coming back, so his value is going to go up tremendously. So you almost got to do it this week. You could give Olave and Ayuk, but then what does that leave you at wide receiver? But there's no way I think you're getting Achane without giving up like both these guys. Or if you gave up, let's say, you're not going to get him for Dotson and Ayuk. You're not going to get him for Olave and Dotson probably. I don't think what you have to offer, I don't think you can turn that into Achane. Achane would be the best way to get Achane is to go after Achane like this. You get two players for your one. It's really the only way to get him effectively right now because he's coming back. So Achane and let's say a Debo, and you give up, the Lamb. That's the only way I think, and that might not even get it done. You might have to it might be like a Diggs, or it might have to be a Pollard to somebody that really needs an RB bad and they're struggling and they're looking at this going, okay, well, this could be an RB1. Like, this is the only way to really get Achane effectively right now is the dilution of the two players to kind of make someone not focus just on losing Achane. They're getting something else and they think of it differently. But that's the only way. Rock out. Appreciate you, pal.
And if Olave has a good game this week, will be a player I should target, try to get like a top 15, top 18 as my wide receiver too.
I mean, Olave going off isn't going to necessarily just get you like a Lamb or St. Brown or somebody. So I don't even think it does. It just makes Olave return to form. Unless you're giving up a player, a running back with it or something, I don't think you're upgrading Olave too much coming off of a big game.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, like, if we look at this buy low list, for example, like if you were to go after, let's say Cooper Kupp does poorly. The problem is you'll have the bye week, and then you'll have everybody thinking Stafford's coming back, so maybe Kupp won't be as cheap. But like a Puka for Olave and something might be attainable if Puka has a bad game. Garrett Wilson might be available via Olave if Olave has a good game and Garrett Wilson has a okay game. Devontae Smith. But I don't think you're getting anything higher than that. You're not getting a Lamb. You're not getting anything. Even if you throw in something like decent, you're probably not going to get it. Could you give up Ayuk and Olave for Lamb or St. Brown if maybe Lamb or St. Brown both drop a dud? Maybe. And St. Brown's on a bye, so you don't really have that option. And so, yes, and Ayuk's on a bye, so I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot. We'll just have to wait until next week.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, rock out to the moon. Appreciate you, pal. Mars, man, rock out. Over and out. Travis Rowe.
Hey, Smitty. So would you play Singletary over Henderson this week? We need a running back.
Singletary over Hendy. I'd probably say Hendy.
Really?
Only because I feel like without Stafford, now Stafford plays, maybe it still doesn't even change anything, but they might lean on the run quite a bit. They could also get games, the run could get games scripted out pretty easily. Singletary's nice though. I mean, maybe Singletary's safer and Hendy's like higher risk, higher reward. But Singletary has been.
I just wasn't sure about, the split with Freeman, with Henderson, and what that's going to be. And so I guess that Singletary's probably safer for the workload, and Henderson's probably better to take a shot on.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends what you need. I mean, Darrell Henderson last week had 12 carries for 31 yards, 3 receptions for 54. That 54 receiving yards was actually pretty big. Royce Freeman had, he had 9 carries for 44 yards. I think the touchdown's a little deceiving to people, but he had no targets, no receptions. And here's his targets and receptions right now. They're completely redded out. There's not one single target Royce Freeman's had so far. So to me, targets are more important than carries. So I'm going to go with Hendy.
And I can't remember if I may have asked you last night, but is Hawkinson and DK Metcalf, is that fair for Devontae Adams, or is that too much?
Hawkinson and DK for Adams.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I think Adams is probably a tiny bit better if you've got like Kincaid or somebody.
I have Kincaid and Laporta as well.
So yeah, then for you, you're in a position where you can overpay.
Okay, so try to get something back, but
definitely.
If you won't budge, go for it.
Yep.
So
all right, Travis to the moon.
Appreciate
you.
What's your just real quick? Jeff Wilson. If I'm not playing Henderson, should I stash Wilson instead? I have Achane, but
I guess if you have Achane, maybe only because, I mean, the problem is that room's gonna get crowded, but Mostert could get injured at any moment. So I probably would bank on that. I'd bank Wilson Jr. and then I would say, look, Kyron's coming back. And Royce is there. Right. So, yeah, definitely. All right, later, Travis. Appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. All right, Super Chat galore coming in strong. Perps dropping a 50 watt on screen. Perps, you menace. Perps is a straight menace. Perps to the moon. Let's go. $20 hauler, $20+ hauler. Whoops.
Alert. Super Chat alert.
Let's go, Perpy. Perp to the moon. Let's see here. Perp says, Smitty, thanks for the help. You're the man. All I have on the wire in my second league is Freeman, Kelly, Lat Murray, Shakir. In my other league, Tank Dell was dropped to the wire with a pickup and drop Fournette for the spot. With a pickup and drop Fournette. I would probably take, if you need value now, like production now, Freeman's the best pickup and play. But I'd rather have Dell than Fournette. And in this other league, I'd say Freeman's the best pickup. So I don't know if that answers the question. So Freeman, and if it's a separate league, then I go get Dell for Fournette. And if it's all the same or whatever, I would rather rank Dell than Freeman, just because I think Dell does bounce back a little bit. But if you need running back production with injuries and buys, you do got to kind of go after Freeman in that scenario. Matt with a $20 holler. Perps, appreciate you, Perps.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Matt, appreciate you. Hey, Smitty, 3-game win streak. I'm 4-4 now. Any moves? I have T-Law, Howell, Camaro, Walker, Gibbs, Sharps, Chase, Puka, Olave, London, Watson, Kittle, Kincaid. Per use, bro. Anybody has 2 tight ends like this, you've got to move one. Kittle's probably the easier guy to move. You've got to make this move to a tight end needy team. Try and upgrade T-Law into a Tua or Burrow or something higher. Go after Mahomes in some bigger trade. You've got running back support. I would trade Gibbs straight up for Mahomes, even with your situation. Howell, you could throw back, and that's going to be an attractive, hey, why don't you take Howell off my hands? And they might be okay with that. And I love Gibbs, bro, but you have Kamara and Walker. You're pretty good. You got Sharps. You got the receivers. If you get Mahomes, it's game over. I'm not saying Gibbs isn't amazing, but that's the move I would look to make to secure up that elite top 3 quarterback. And quarterbacks score so much points. You put Mahomes or Josh Allen or Hurts on this team, and it feels game over. Love the squad. Go to the tight end needy teams. Figure out a move that makes sense for you. Heating Up Podcast, appreciate you. Devonta Smith plus Rice and Hendy, KJ Osborne, Davis for Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's too many combos here with the slashes, bro. So it's like I would say in general, Devonta, because the variables are out of control here. Devonta Smith plus Rice or Hendy or KJ Osborne or Gabe Davis for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would say, honestly, you know what? I would take all that piled up together and take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not to say I don't love Devonta Smith in a close fashion to Amon-Ra, but Rice, Hendy, KJ, and Gabe Davis, I scratch what I said. I can do all the slashes. Just make them plus signs, and I still take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's go. Thank you, Heating. Appreciate you, my guy. G-Money, $5 holler. Hey, Smitty, what do you think of this trade? I give Pollard Ridley. I get Devontae Adams, Gibbs, and Hendy. I say smash. Give me that Adams and Gibbs side all day long over the Ridley and Pollard side. I think you crushed that trade. That is a got him moment.
Got him.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo.
Yeah, G-Money. His name's G-Money. G-Money, like dollar bills. He's in the chat right now. I don't know how long he'll be here. He just pulled a fantasy football robbery. Thank you. Appreciate you. You got about 10-minute lead time, G-Money. You better get out of here. They're coming for you, pal. And they're coming in hot. Charles, $10 holler. Charles, appreciate you for your super chat, young man. Smitty, would you start K1 if he gets activated or keep Howell as the starter? You gotta keep Howell, I think, for this moment in time while we see what's what and let him get his feet wet. Let him wet his beak a little bit. Because Howell came off as the number 1 quarterback last week out of all quarterbacks. I think he deserves to go this week. But, Kyler's tempting. You just got to wait and see. Watch it. Start 3, non-PPR. Kamara, Swift, Pacheco, Pollard, Bijan, and would you bench the Eagles D at home against the Cowboys? Thanks, Smitty. My Pickens scored -1 point. I'm sorry about that. I'm as disappointed in him as you, especially today. Would I bench the Eagles D at home against the Cowboys? It depends on your option, but I don't know that I would. I think the Eagles still score points. It depends on what your alternative is. Starting 3, I'm going to go Kamara. He could be the number 1 running back this week. I go Bijan and probably Pollard. But Superfish, I know I say this every week, but you've got to make a trade. I know it's hard, but like Swift and Pacheco, Pollard, Bijan, you can't. Kamara's a lock, but you can't keep deciding between these this lot of players, you're going to get it wrong. I'm going to get it wrong. The chat's going to get it wrong every single time. In fact, let's go to the chat. Can we vote for Superfish? Because Superfish deserves our vote and our group think. Start 3. Please name 3 running backs for Superfish right now if you could. Kamara, Swift, Pacheco, Pollard, Bijan. Kamara, Swift, Pacheco, Pollard, Bijan. I'm going to put this in the corner. Please vote for Superfish. Superfish is an avid, amazing follower of this channel and deserves our help. Thank you very much. If anybody can help Superfish out right now, vote please. That's in the corner. Please pick 3 RBs for Superfish and do it live. Thank you, Alex and Hassan and Jay, for your super chats, and Eric. Alex says, Schmitty, 2-6 and in win now mode. Are you in win now mode, Alex? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. Are we really? Are you sure about that, Alex? We're 2-6. Are we really in win now mode? Roster is Goff, Kyler, Walker, Gibbs, Jerome Ford, Javonte, Darrell Henderson, Devonta Smith, Ridley, Evans, Andrews. Good team. You're in the same boat as everybody else that has double tight ends, bro. You got to trade Kincaid or Andrews, and it might be Andrews that gets you more, so you're going to have to trade Andrews away. Kyler should help and save you at the RB position, or the quarterback position, so you really need to try and get an RB somehow. Maybe a Jerome Ford or Javonte or Henderson, probably Javonte, I assume, with Andrews to go get a JT, to go get a Pollard. You need that type of RB, I think, in this RB room, and I think the tight end position is going to help you. Alex says, it feels like it, Smitty. It feels like I'm in win now mode. You are in win now mode. You're an absolute straight monster, and you're going to turn this thing around. I know it. I can feel it in my bones, bro. You're gonna turn it around, Alex. You are. We're in win now. We're in win now mode, people. I need everybody to scramble together. We got 2 wins. We're going for it. Traded Laporta, Rice, and Connor and Kyler for ETN. Look, that's a lot, but yeah, I mean, Kyler, Laporta could really help that other owner out, but I'd say, like, if you're good at those positions, for you, got him. Scramble the Jets. We're in win now mode. You can just see Alex walking around yelling at people at his employment. Things are down. We're going for it. We're at high production capacity. Trade Ridley and Pickens for Olave. No, I'd rather have. Look, Ridley is as good as Olave. If you know, like, no. Should I trade T-Law, Ridley for Brock Purdy, Amari Cooper? No, I'd rather have T-Law and Ridley, or just the wide receiver part. I'd rather have Ridley. So no, Ridley for T. Higgins. I personally would rather have Ridley, but I think at least that's close. If you were to do that one, I'd be okay with it. Start Rice over Hendy at the flex. This week, maybe. I like Mahomes a lot this week. I don't focus on what they've got too much. I would go for what works for you. $20 hauler from Perps.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps coming in strong, says, sorry for the Shiati verbiage, sent it without reading, my bad. Don't apologize for being you, Perps. You're Perps, bro. Okay? Without reading it, my bad. League 1, Dell is worth the pickup, and then drop Fournette in order to add Dell. Absolutely, I'd rather have Dell. Fournette, look, monitor Fournette, and I don't know if there's any news on Fournette I'm not seeing while I'm live or something, but as long as there's not big news about Fournette starting or something, then yeah, Dell to the moon. But check the news wire, because I've been live. I haven't been plugging away on it. Perps, appreciate your $20 hauler. Don't ever apologize for being Perps. Don't do it. Start 3 non-PPR. Or what did we decide over here? What did the chat end up saying? Kamara, Bijan, Swift. Kamara, Swift, Bijan. Kamara, Pacheco, Swift. Kamara, Swift, Bijan. Seems like Kamara, Swift, Bijan is the most voted one, Superfish, from what I can gather. Everyone agrees to start Kamara. Me too, says Superfish. So I don't know what you're feeling on the rest of that vote, but I think it's okay. In league number 1, you think pick up Freeman or Ingram off waivers? Ingram's not bad because DeMarcado's out, so that's actually not a bad play. But Freeman's probably the guy I would maybe roll with. But either one is fine. They're both about the same. Over Charbonnet, probably Freeman slightly over Charbonnet this week, but I do like Charbs a lot. But you're also dependent on him getting a small amount of work and popping off with it. So I'd probably go Freeman. Freeman by a hair is safer. Ingram's higher risk, but probably Ingram does have higher reward. It's just, will he even do anything with his volume? He has it in the past, so he's kind of failed. In league number 2, pickup, one off the waiver wire. Freeman, Shakir, or on the for the bench, or just leave an open spot. I definitely wouldn't leave an open spot. I'd scoop up probably Freeman. I would think. I'd pick up Freeman and hold him. I wouldn't leave an open spot. There are also other players, like look for Singletary just to be safe. Look for Mayer at tight end. Maybe he pops off with O'Connell and you can trade Mayer later. So that's another alternative to pick up rather than keep an open bench spot. Appreciate you all. All right. I appreciate everybody being here. I think I'll be back tonight at some point for some sort of maybe draft live stream on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll double your first deposit up to $500. So make sure you get on over to this link right here. I'm going to drop this link. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll double your first deposit up to $500. Hit that link right now. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat. And we're going to be drafting live potentially tonight on Underdog Fantasy. Let me hit that link. There we go. I pinned it. It's pinned in the live chat. Appreciate every single one of you. We're live Monday through Friday. I did a show on the top 5 buy lows, or the top 5 go get players off of the entire list here. So I did a video the other day on all these guys. We did it live. It was on the 8 p.m. show. Then I did a video just before this live stream, and it's uploaded, that has me narrowing this down to 5 guys. So go watch that video. It's the video right before this. It's the top 5 buy players right now heading into the coming week. And then today's show, we did the panic chamber where we discussed these 4 individuals. So go rewatch this if you missed it. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all probably later tonight, and definitely will be on the Dynasty channel either tonight or tomorrow. Let me drop that Dynasty link right now. If anybody is not subscribed to my Dynasty channel, goodness gracious, what are you doing? Here's the Dynasty channel. We're trying to grow this bad boy, and maybe we're going to go live tonight on that. Maybe that's what we're going to do tonight. Go live on the Dynasty channel. I think we should do that. So I'm going to pin this link right now. Replace the link. There it is. Please subscribe to the Dynasty channel right now. It's pinned in the live chat. Here's the link one more time. We'll be going live on that bad boy either tonight or tomorrow. So please check it out. Hit it. Do it live. Appreciate you. See it later tonight, possibly. Deuces. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live whenever big news breaks. And obviously doing a lot of graveyard late night shifts. Appreciate you. What's with the short shows? We've been live for 2 hours, Rush. We did a 3-hour show. Rush, we did a 3-hour show last night. We did a 2-hour show tonight. What do you want from me? There's 5 hours of my life, Rush, that I'm dedicating to you within a 12-hour period. Deuces. And if you're asleep, Rush, just rewatch it. They do replay, my guy. Appreciate you, though. Go get in a set. Go get in a pump, Rush. Thank you, Perps. Thank you, DeBalt. Thank you to all my super chatters. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the 10 gifted memberships. Ron Navy to the moon. Thank you, Lego Batman, for the $20 hauler. Thank you, Call Your Boy, for the $20 hauler. Thank you to Ron Navy for the $20 hauler and the conversation. Ron came in hot tonight. This is Ted Fries with a $20 hauler. Brady with the $50 wad on screen. Brady to the freaking moon. Brady, thank you, pal, for the $50 hauler. Sean Patrick with the 20 wad on screen. Matt Slater dropping wads on screen. Perps dropping a 20. Perps dropping a 20. Perps dropping a 50. Perps, you became a unicorn tonight. Hold on, Perps. Don't go anywhere, Perps. We're making you a unicorn. Slater, appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler. And Sean Patrick, I think I said. So, Perps, we need to find Perps. Perps dropped 20, 40, 60, $110 in one live stream. Guess what's happening to Perps?
He is a unicorn.
Anybody that drops over $100 in one single live stream goes on the unicorn board. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this because eventually it's going to fill up. We'll figure it out when that happens. But there we go. Perps, $100 hauler in a single live stream. He is now a unicorn. Appreciate you, Perps. Perps to the freaking moon. All of you to the moon. Appreciate you all.